This story is titled, My Girlfriend Secretly Moved Her Brother into Our Apartment and Expected Me to Pay for Everything, so I evicted them both. My name is Ethan. I'm 27 years old, and I live in Chicago. I've always considered myself a fair and reasonable person, someone who doesn't mind helping the people I love. But as I've learned the hard way, some people will take advantage of kindness until there's nothing left. And when that happens, you have two choices: let them walk all over you, or stand your ground. I thought I had found someone who truly cared about me when I met Olivia. She was smart, funny, and had this warmth about her that made me feel like I had finally found home. We had been dating for a year before we decided to move in together. It felt like the right step, like we were building something real. At first, things were great. Our apartment was small but cozy, and we split the bills evenly. Olivia had a stable job as a freelance graphic designer, while I worked in IT. We weren't rolling in money, but we made things work. We cooked together, went on date nights, and even talked about our future. I genuinely believed she was the one. But then things started to change. One evening, I came home from work and noticed something strange. There were extra shoes by the door, men's shoes. My stomach twisted as I stepped further inside. A duffel bag sat in the hallway. I heard voices coming from the living room, and when I turned the corner, there he was, a guy sitting on my couch, eating takeout like he lived there. Olivia looked up at me with a nervous smile. "Oh, Ethan, you're home," she said, jumping up as if she could distract me from the fact that there was a complete stranger in our apartment. I crossed my arms. Yeah, and who is this?" She hesitated for a second before sighing. "This is my brother, Josh." Josh barely acknowledged me, just gave a small nod while still chewing his food. I frowned. "Okay, and why is he here?" Olivia bit her lip. "So I was going to talk to you about this." That was the first red flag. I was going to talk to you, which meant she hadn't planned to tell me. She had just done it. She continued. "Josh was in a tough situation. He lost his job and he was about to get evicted. I couldn't just let him be homeless, Ethan. He's my brother." I exhaled slowly, trying to stay calm. "Olivia, we should have talked about this first. You don't just move someone in without asking." I know, she said quickly. "But I thought you'd understand. It's temporary, just until he gets back on his feet." I glanced at Josh, who was still making himself at home, not looking the least bit uncomfortable. "And how long is temporary?" She hesitated again. Red flag number 2. "We're not sure yet," she admitted. "But it won't be long, I promise." Against my better judgment, I let it slide. Big mistake. Days turned into weeks, and Josh didn't seem to be in any hurry to leave. In fact, he got way too comfortable. He would lounge around all day, watching TV, playing video games, and raiding our fridge like he paid for the groceries. I kept waiting for Olivia to step up and set some boundaries, but she acted like this was completely normal. Whenever I brought it up, she brushed it off. "He's looking for a job," she would say. But I never saw him apply for anything. No interviews, no effort. Then the bills started piling up. Our grocery expenses doubled. The electricity bill shot up because Josh was home all day. And the worst part? He never offered to contribute, not even once. I finally had enough. One night, after another exhausting day at work, I sat Olivia down. "Olivia, this isn't working," I said firmly. "Josh has been here for over a month, and he's not even trying to leave. I can't afford to pay for 3 people. He needs to start paying rent or find somewhere else to stay." I expected her to understand, to at least acknowledge that this situation was unfair, but instead she looked at me like I had just insulted her family. "Ethan, he doesn't have any money. That's why he's here." I shook my head. "That's not my responsibility. He's an adult, Olivia. He needs to figure this out." She crossed her arms. "Wow! So you just want to throw my brother out on the street?" I pinched the bridge of my nose, trying to stay calm. No, I wanted him to be responsible for himself. I didn't sign up to support another person. Her eyes filled with tears. "I can't believe how selfish you're being." That hit me like a slap. Selfish? Me? I was the one paying for almost everything, while Josh contributed absolutely nothing. I was the one working long hours while he sat around doing nothing. And now I was the bad guy for wanting a fair arrangement. That was the moment something clicked. Olivia wasn't going to change. She had no problem making me the villain if it meant keeping her brother comfortable at my expense. And I wasn't going to let that happen. I gave her an ultimatum. Either Josh starts contributing, or he moves out. End of discussion. She didn't like that. We argued for hours, but I stood my ground. The next morning, I woke up to find Olivia and Josh whispering in the kitchen. They stopped the second they saw me. My gut told me something was off, but I had to get to work, so I let it go. When I came home that night, I walked into a financial nightmare. When I walked through the door that night, I knew something was wrong. Olivia sat stiffly on the couch, her arms crossed, avoiding my eyes. Josh, as usual, was glued to the TV, looking way too comfortable for someone who was supposed to be in a tough situation. But what really caught my attention was the stack of envelopes on the counter. I frowned and walked over, flipping through them. Past due notices. The electricity bill. The internet. Even the rent. I felt a cold wave wash over me. Olivia, what is this? She exhaled, barely sparing me a glance. I had to use the money for other things. I turned to face her fully. Other things? Olivia, I gave you my half of the rent 2 weeks ago. Where is it? She didn't answer. My patience snapped. Olivia, where is the money? She finally looked at me, but instead of guilt, there was defiance in her eyes. I had to help Josh, Ethan. He had nothing. I bought him food, helped him pay off some debts. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You used our rent money for your brother? She stood up, her jaw tight. He's family. I couldn't just let him suffer. I let out a bitter laugh. Oh, but you could let me suffer. Olivia, we're about to get evicted. And all because you decided Josh was more important than the roof over our heads? Josh, who had been silent until now, muttered, Dude, calm down. It's not a big deal. That was it. That was the moment I snapped. I turned to him, my voice dangerously low. Not a big deal? You've been living here for free, eating my food, running up my bills, and now, thanks to you, my rent money is gone. And you have the nerve to sit there and tell me to calm down? He rolled his eyes. We'll figure it out. No, I said firmly. I've figured it out. You're both leaving. Olivia's face paled. Ethan, don't do this. You're overreacting. I shook my head, feeling something inside me harden. I should have done this weeks ago. I grabbed my phone and pulled up the lease agreement. My name was the only one on it. Olivia was never officially added because she was supposed to handle that months ago and never did. That meant I had full control over who stayed. I looked her dead in the eye. You have until the end of the week to get your things and go. She gaped at me. You wouldn't. I nodded. I already have. I'll change the locks on Sunday. The color drained from her face. Josh just scoffed like I was bluffing, but I wasn't. By Saturday, Olivia was still begging me to reconsider, claiming we could work something out. But I was done. I gave her one final warning, and when she saw I wasn't budging, she finally packed her things. Josh? He had the audacity to complain the entire time. You're really kicking us out? He whined. I met his glare without flinching. I sure am. By Sunday morning, they were gone, and for the first time in months, I felt at peace. A week later, Olivia sent me a long message saying I had betrayed her, that she thought I was better than that. But you know what? I don't regret a thing, because kindness is one thing, being used is another. So yeah, I evicted my girlfriend and her leech of a brother, and I'd do it again. What do you think? Was I too harsh, or did they get what they deserved? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.